Today I'm going to look at how you can open your business if it says temporarily closed in Google My Business. Now you may think to yourself, well, I don't even remember closing it. How did that possibly happen? And you may also want to know, what else can I do now, not just to open my business up, but to get more sales, to get more people to come and see that I now am fully open with promotions as well. Well, we're going to look at those and a few other things as well that are going to help your business grow as you now come out of lockdown. Welcome to my video. So my name's Zane from Zanet Design, and I help businesses grow on the internet. So whether it's about improving your presence within Google, whether it's about understanding how to use videos and editing within your own website, all these things I cover within my channel. So make sure you subscribe below, click the bell so it alerts you when the next update comes your way. Now, if you have a small business, you may have found that recently it shows as being temporarily closed. And because of that, you'll find you won't be getting inquiries through Google Maps or through the search engine or through other processes in which Google My Business is used and presented to the public. So why is it you're not getting the inquiries? Because it says temporarily closed if you didn't even put it as temporarily closed. Well, we're going to find out why that's happened, how you can now reopen if that's what your business is allowed to do. And also we're going to look at a few other things that are going to help you when it comes to coming out of lockdown or COVID-19 and how you can promote your business with the right hours and with the right promotions. So let's go straight in to today's video.
So first, you may notice that you haven't actually even suggested that you should be temporarily closed. You've just gone into your Google My Business and you've noticed that it says temporarily closed. And the reason for this is that the majority of businesses that were closed by governments, on the whole, Google took it upon itself to close it for you. So even though some people made closures themselves and often got it wrong, because in fact closed could mean that you're never going to open again, the idea came in a few months later that it would show as temporarily closed. And so for the majority of people that didn't put temporarily closed, then they will now find that their business is temporarily closed on Google. And the way you can do it, if you still need to show that, then it's just simply a case of going to your interface, going into info. We have a previous video that showed this. Then you choose how you close your business. So mark as temporarily closed. That's what you would have either have done or Google's done that for you. So that's important to just know where that came from and why it is that you may find now you go to your listing and it says you're temporarily closed and you're wanting to open. The government says you can now open to the public and you can't because you don't know how to do it. So that's what we're going to look at. How do you then make it open again? How do you get your business back on Google My Business? And it's quite simple really. So if you have already got a temporarily closed sign like this at the top, if you go into info and then go to the top, temporarily closed, the business has been marked as temporarily closed. That was probably by Google if you didn't do it yourself. And it is nothing more now than just clicking here, mark as open. If you click mark as open, then it will come up and just say it's under review. And then as soon as Google approves it, which can just be sometimes even just within a few minutes, you'll then find that you can now start to appear again in Google Maps, in the knowledge panel and in all other areas, and start to take appointments as well. So this is really important to make sure that you open straight away because Google won't do that for you. You need to do that on a manual basis. So make sure you don't forget to bookmark this video or subscribe to it so that you don't miss that part out. But I'm going to look at a few other things as well that are going to be really helpful if you're just beginning to think about opening your business. So let's look at those things together then. So first of all, you notice that Google does give a bit of direction about reopening. If you do have multiple profiles, then you can follow through on this. So this is just a help document. If you type into Google reopen a location, and it will just show you how to do it either on your computer, an Android or an iPhone. And it just shows how you can do it for either your business profile, which is what we've just gone through, or you can do it for a multiple profile too. But one of the other things as well is we saw how you can temporarily close it, and where you can get your business back up. But something else that Google's just done in the last day, and I just wanted to update you on this, was that again, they're giving quite a lot of information about how to keep ahead during the COVID pandemic and as you come out. And this one's a new one. Now, I've got this as update online appointments. You may have it as update online bookings. So whatever comes up here, just have a look at it and see whether you can fit in with this. Now, before we look at that, just to mention what these are as well. Get support from customers means you can take gift vouchers or online donations. So we covered that in a video about 2 weeks ago, which you can look out for. Post your COVID update. This is important just to keep everyone updated. So if you've got a 2-meter rule in your shop, or if you've got a certain arrangement, then that will appear as the main thing that when people find your shop, that will be the main headline or the main post. So that's kind of like a priority post above all other posts, and it's just information. So if you click on that, you just write a paragraph of information about what you're doing. It's basically up here. You just fill it out here, update your status. So it's not really a promotion thing, it's more of an information thing. The next one is update business hours. So that's really straightforward. It just means that you can keep everyone updated as to what your hours are. So it could be that you've got your standard hours have changed during COVID or when you reopen. You might have holidays coming up, so keep these up to date. And more hours as well. We had a video that just showed you that that's more to do with things like you might have promotions going on. So brunch, deliveries, drive-thrus, and so on. So we've covered that in a previous video. So let's get back to this new one then. So it's update online appointments. Now I am taking online appointments now. It's just something new. So it says online appointments, show that you're offering online appointments. Well, I am offering them. So I'll click that. And then it says appointments. So it's suggesting it goes to my contact page. But actually I'm taking some Google My Business appointments at the moment. And that would be my Zanet page here, where they can select and pay for some time with me. So I'm going to just put that as my URL. So if I go back to here and enter my Kickstart URL and click done. There you go. So I've signaled to Google that I have now the ability to take online appointments. It's saved, and no doubt that will be reviewed, and we'll see whether that starts to appear somewhere on my knowledge panel. So that'll be interesting to see. Now, just one other thing as well. So we've got all this information here. If you click on Learn More, you get this great resource as well. And I just wanted again just to reference that, because sometimes when you're opening up it can be difficult to know what to do, but things like staying current online, so that's just keeping everyone updated with what you're doing, what your hours are, keep posting updates. So these are all things that I've covered in previous videos. If you want to know how to do those things, then check out any of my previous videos and they'll kind of touch on those things. Stay in sync with customers. This is a bit more about updating things like your number. Make sure that you've got the ability to communicate through either a website or even using Google Alerts and so on. There's all sorts of ways in which you can do that, and you can communicate, as we saw through that COVID message. Stay connected with employees. So this is a bit about making sure you have perhaps meetings and so on. So this is more just business advice, but also it promotes things like sharing documents on Google Drive and using Google Cloud as well. And then stay relevant with your advertising. So that's Google basically just trying to get you to bring in ads if you wanted to. But if you're getting a lot of traffic through Google My Business, then you probably don't need the advertising. And then we've got some skill training at the end. So those are just useful to know if you wanted to just catch up on some things from Google's perspective. So if I now type in Zanet Design into Google and I get my knowledge panel that comes up, and you notice there, just the only thing I can see here is it now says I take online appointments. So that's the change that we've just done. So that's interesting to know. You notice here's my COVID update that I mentioned that you can always keep up to date, which kind of comes to the fore of your messages. And also for those of you that watched a video a couple of weeks ago about social links and how to get Google to spider them, I just noticed I've gained another one. So that means that they have now they are starting to take extra look at my profiles. So I think on my previous video I had Facebook and LinkedIn, and I've now got Twitter. I've certainly gained one anyway because I was on two. I've still got YouTube and I've still got Instagram to be added, but they've not done those yet. But that just showed that did work then. So within a couple of weeks, I've now seen the benefit of an extra profile link that appears there. So that's great news as well. So hopefully that's been a useful video. And as always, if you've got any questions, then put them down below. But if you haven't got any questions and you've reopened your business, and I hope it goes well, hope you're following and you're subscribing to make sure that you then follow all these suggestions that are going to help your business grow. You won't need to advertise once you get into the top 3. And you'll get in the top 3 if you continue to follow the process that I'm going through with you.